With the recent news that the Oakland Athletics will be packing their bags from the Oakland Coliseum and be moving on to Las Vegas for the 2028 season, we look back on how they became the big laughingstock of baseball and the laughingstock all around sports. With the Oakland Athletics being a super dominant team back in the early 70s and now more recently in the late 2010s, moving on to the 2020s, how did they have such a crazy fall off? Many people around sports, and including the Oakland Athletics fans, will blame their owner, John Fisher, for this. John Fisher, the owner of the Athletics, has been blamed multiple times and quoted for being the worst owner in sports. Fisher was known for not using money wisely, as there is no salary cap in baseball to help his organization and help his team grow, and this running into attendance issues, not driving the Oakland Athletics in a positive direction. Attendance issues has always been an issue for the Oakland Athletics. Pulling in fans to the stadium day in and day out for 162 games isn't overly that easy, as they found out, with the Oakland Athletics posting one of the worst attendance numbers throughout their whole final few seasons in Oakland. Even when they are succeeding, it doesn't seem like they can pull that many fans. Attendance issues has always been a struggle in Oakland, and it's been hard pulling the fans in to the stadium for years, and this dates back to even the 70s and 80s, even when the Oakland Athletics were super competitive, winning 3 championships in the early 70s, as we'll get into more of the history of that and how that attendance issue compares today to back then. With the Oakland Athletics moving to Oakland from Kansas City back in 1968, this was the first real sports team and major sports team in Oakland at the time. With the move to Oakland came a lot of early success for the Oakland Athletics, winning back-to-back-to-back championships in the 1972, 73, and 74 season. The Oakland Athletics had star players like Catfish Hunter and Reggie Jackson lead the way through the early golden era for the Oakland A's. A few seasons after the quote-unquote early golden era for the Oakland Athletics, in the 1979 season, the Oakland Athletics had a whopping 4,000 average fan attendance for a total of 306 fans in the Oakland Coliseum in the 1979 season. We're just going to briefly take a look here at the 2023 average attendance for every single MLB team. You still see Oakland A's at the bottom, but this is the season where they made their move over to Las Vegas due to attendance issues, and you still see they have a solid 10,000 fans. Not solid, I'll say, but they still have 10,000 fans coming to their game compared to a solid 4,000 back in the 1979 season. That gives you sort of an idea of how many fans they were actually pulling into the stadium. After all the shenanigans in Oakland, 2 years later they find themselves a new owner for the team. His name is Walter J. Haas. Walter J. Haas helped the Oakland Athletics A, be a better team, and B, along with being a better team, drive the attendance numbers up. In the first year of the Haas regime, the Oakland Athletics had a great attendance, having an average of 23,000 fans in the building for every single game. Obviously, with being a competitive team, helps the attendance numbers. During the second quote-unquote golden era for the Oakland Athletics franchise, in the 1988 season was the first taste of World Series ball for a super long time. The Oakland Athletics finished the season 104-58, which was solid enough for first place in their division. They moved all the way on to the World Series where they played the Los Angeles Dodgers, and they ended up losing 4-1. During the Athletics' 3-year reign over the American League, they had big bats like Mark McGwire, base stealers like Ricky Henderson, who leads the MLB in stolen bases of all time. The A's also had elite-level starting pitching in Dave Stewart. The year after, in 1989, the Oakland Athletics would make their way back to the World Series, this time playing the San Francisco Giants. They would end up sweeping the San Francisco Giants in 4 games, and your World Series MVP would be your starting pitcher, Dave Stewart. In the 1990 season, the Oakland Athletics would journey their way back to the World Series for the 3rd straight season. This season, they would not be able to win a game in the World Series as they were swept 4-0 by the Cincinnati Reds. After the Oakland Athletics were swept in 4 games in the 1990 World Series for Cincinnati Reds, that would be the final time they ever get a lick at World Series baseball. Between the seasons 1993 and 2013, the Oakland Athletics made the playoffs 9 times and won the American League West 8 times. The mediocrity of the Oakland Athletics begins here and only goes downhill from here. The 2015 season, the Oakland Athletics were finished with a record of 68-94, finishing last in the American League West. Although the mediocrity was well and alive in Oakland, the Oakland Athletics were still able to pull around 21,000 people per game in the Coliseum, which is still not great, but considering it was the Oakland Athletics, it was pretty good at the time. Though in the current stage of the Oakland Athletics they weren't a very good team, the future would remain bright as the Oakland Athletics would have a lot of young players such as Marcus Semien, a young defender who played a superb position at third base, Matt Chapman, a power-hitting first baseman lefty in Matt Olson, and the two young starting pitchers in Chris Bassett and Kendall Graveman. The 2019 Oakland Athletics were a fun team to watch all around. They would hit the ball far, defend well, and pitch very well. The 2019 and 2020 COVID-shortened year for the Oakland Athletics were probably the most fun and best times for baseball in the Oakland Athletics' recent memory. The 2019 season for the Oakland Athletics, they finished 97-65, clinching second in the American League West and clinching an AL wildcard game spot. The 2020 season for the Oakland Athletics was very similar to the 2019 season. They had a very successful season. In the 2020 season, in the shortened year, they finished with a record of 36-24. This year, not having to worry about fans in the stands. Unfortunately for the Oakland Athletics, in their final successful season in Oakland, they lost in the second round to the Houston Astros 3-1 in the series. Now you may be asking, how did the Oakland A's go from such a successful team in 2019 and 2020 to such a fall-off organization for the next 4 years? Well, as every Oakland A's fan will tell you, they will blame their owner, John Fisher. John Fisher did not re-sign any of the young talent that was coming up that was playing so well in 2019 and 2020 that established themselves as MLB superstars, and he let them go to free agency. With all the superstars gone, the attendance record is going down. With the Oakland A's record being bad as a team, their attendance numbers back that up themselves. 2024 being the final full season in the Oakland Coliseum for Oakland, they will be moving to their temporary home in West Sacramento. With the Oakland Athletics fans wanting John Fisher gone way before he made all these mistakes, it begs the question, what would have the Oakland Athletics been if John Fisher didn't mess everything up?